It's time to get casually uncomfortable. News Edition with your host, Chuck Jerome. Viewer discretion is advised. What is up, happy people? Happy Wednesday. Here we go. You came for the news. You're going to get the news. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having fun. The week is already almost over. We're just doing it again. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's where we're at, folks. So whatever you need to be doing, get your shit done. Especially now that the weather's starting to get nice. And it's only going to get nicer. All right, let's get into this. Let's start it up. So this first article this week is, really showing what we are going to be putting our tax dollars towards. And what it's going to be is special agent training for the FBI. But guess who it's done by? It's going to be done by and headed up with UFC fighters. So UFC fighters are going to be telling, special agents how to fight. They're going to have a fucking seminar. They're going to waste time, money, and resources on telling them, hey, listen, you get into a crazy thing. You want to sweep the legs. You just want to hit someone with a German suplex. If all else fails, put them in an arm bar. This is what we're using our money on. And everybody is saying, hey, Kash Patel, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you making this kind of shit happen when we could put that money towards other things and get shit squared away? And everybody's like, look, the only reason that this son of a bitch is doing this is so he can get selfies and hang out with his favorite UFC fighters. Listen, this whole presidency right now is, it's like a fucking joke. It's like if you became president and you said, I'm only going to deal with my best friends or only deal with the people who would kiss my ass. And then if there's anybody that decides to come along and is serious about kissing my ass, I might give them a spot on the team. And that's just what's happening right now. It doesn't even feel real. Like, this doesn't even feel like a legit presidency. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And look, Trump, you've already seen him at UFC events. Joe Rogan is an announcer at the UFC events. Trump and Rogan are good friends. And now that circle's getting wilder and bigger, doing his last campaign. All those podcasters were just like, yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's going to do this and that. And then fucking earlier this year, they were like, what the fuck is he doing? He's getting out of control. Well, guess what? Son of a bitch is still out of control. So, yeah. So the UFC is going to have a seminar on the 15th and the 16th. Well, yesterday and today. Teaching fighting techniques and tactics. Listen, this is for the FBI. I would want some kind of military strategistic mind to be teaching me some shit about fighting and tactics, not a fucking UFC fight. Now, I get it. It sounds cool, but that's all it is. It sounds cool. Listen, folks, we are in the comic book simulation. That's what this is, because it doesn't even feel like this shit's real anymore. It feels like a big ass joke. Well, Buckle in because we got 3 more years. All right, this next article, because I'm going to keep things moving. A 13-year-old boy in Alabama took matters into his own hands after his stepfather strangled his mother during an argument. And the kid was like, look, he was threatening to kill everybody. You know, he was high on drugs and he was drunk. And so the stepson made some comments to the stepfather as he's beating on his mother. Then the stepfather goes after the son. Well, they make it out to the front of the house and the stepson just beats his ass, which he should have. And I'm glad he did, and I'm glad he was able to. You know, too many stories you hear like the stepfather just beating the shit out of everybody and nobody steps up or tries to do anything. But hey, this stepson said, And then it says, upon arrival, deputies saw a 13-year-old male holding down a 32-year-old male with a bicycle in the front yard. Beat his bitch ass with a Schwinn. That's the kind of shit that I like to hear. Whoop his motherfucking ass. There's no reason for you to be putting your hands on anybody. Drunk, high, whatever. It don't matter. There's no need for that. Yeah, listen. I've had, some stepdads here and there, but nothing crazy. But they've never, I never had problems with them. Plus, I've always been a pretty big guy, even though I'm short. But then my best friends were even bigger than me. So you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And my horns were big. So we would have fucking, I tell you right now, beat some ass, broken bones and broken dreams. I'm glad that the stepson whooped his ass, and now that stepfather is in holding on bond for $30,000. Nobody has that kind of money for a motherfucking pussy. So he's just going to sit there for a while. Good. Karma is a bitch. A spicy bitch. All right, listen. I don't listen to the Breakfast Club. I don't like Charlemagne too much. He's just, I don't know. He's got one of those punchable faces. And I don't say that about a lot of people. I could probably think about 5 to 8 solid people that have just punchable faces. And then you're just like, ugh, it makes me sick. But he's like, look, we moved to Netflix. That's the end of the story. You can catch the clips and little shit like that on YouTube, but we moved to Netflix. And he's like, look, people are complaining about it, and it's the people who, and this is what he's saying, the people who are like, oh yeah, they tweet and stuff about America's next top model and Stranger Things and the Diddy documentary. And these are all things that are on Netflix. And I'm thinking in my head, no, I don't think these are the people that are complaining about, having to watch something on a service that they already have, you dipshit. He's like, yeah, they're just trying to, they're trying to create a narrative. No, Netflix is like fucking $25, $30 a month. It's only going higher. And that's especially, it's going to be expensive if you don't want ads. If you don't want ads, guess what? You're going to pay top dollar. And a lot of shows are doing that. I watch Kill Tony, and they have started every month or so, they put an episode or 2 on Netflix. So it's solely on Netflix. Well, guess what? I don't have Netflix. I don't want Netflix. So you're just going to lose out that week. In the long run, it might be good. It's good for them because they're on a giant streaming platform. But I get it. If you're upset about it, I don't have all these streaming services. I got a few of them. And if it clocks how many times you use it in a month, they're going to think my shit's canceled. You're going to be like, damn, this Chuck guy never uses it. I don't. You know where I'm at? I'm on YouTube. I'm on FreeTube. I've gotten the free month of, what is it, YouTube Prime, or not YouTube Prime, whatever the fuck the big YouTube is. And I didn't even use it any different. Had a bunch of dumb shit. It just, hey, you don't want ads? Here's $80 a month. It's like YouTube TV. I don't watch TV like that. Give me short form media so I can stick and move and go on about my day and do other shit. But I don't need, like, Charlemagne, shut the fuck, like, they're just trying to spin a narrative. No, the motherfuckers don't have extra money for that bullshit. To hear you talk bullshit. I don't know, man. It's just, they're trying to get us every fucking way they can for every penny we already don't have. Speaking of fucking getting us, this article I called Endorsed, and that's the name of the episode, because apparently there was a meeting last week on the 11th, and Uncle Donnie had a bunch of people there, and he brought up Jake Paul, and he was like, ooh, I'm going to make a prediction that you will be in the not too distant future running for some political office. Now, he didn't say what, but just by Trump saying that, you know he's going to make some shit happen. That's what I'm saying. He endorsed Jake Paul for whatever the fuck political ideas he may have. And that sounds terrifying, because it was just a couple weeks ago when I was talking about him talking about Bad Bunny and saying all this wild shit about different people. And him, you know, you come to find out, he's got a whole fucking mansion in Puerto Rico, and he's talking shit on Puerto Ricans. Like, how does that work? And this is the guy that's being endorsed by the guy that's saying, lock everybody up. Lock them up. Check the papers later. Lock them up now. And look, I get it. Because look, if you go to another country and you are an illegal, you're done. You're either going to be beat and killed, or you're going to be fucking taken back, sent back to wherever the fuck you came from. And I know, I think about that Brittany Griner, the basketball player. What happened to her? She had like a weed pen, and they fucking took her. We're fighting to get her back, and it was a fucking weed pen. So if you're illegal, you think they're going to fucking tell anybody? No. They're going to fucking lock you in a room. You're going to be their punching bag for at least 6 months. And if someone starts asking questions where you are, then and only then will they maybe send you back. But that bitch had money. She could have bribed them every fucking day. Hey, listen, here's $2 million, whatever. I know she was making some money. It was playing in the NBA. But if someone who was just visiting doesn't have a chance, imagine if you were illegal. So I get it. But, then I don't. Especially over here. So, I don't know. 3 more years. He's like, I'm going to make a prediction. And I'm like, yeah, no, what you're doing is you're going to make shit happen. That's his code word. Whenever you hear him say, make a prediction, the motherfuckers behind the scenes are getting it rolling immediately, or they will get fucking deported. Here, check this article out. So this guy is sitting in a coffee shop, and this girl walks up to him And it's like, hey, I need to give you this. You know what it was? It was her phone number. She wrote it on a receipt. Here's the only problem. He didn't want to take it because it was written on a receipt. And if you don't know anything about receipts, the thermal paper is coated with BPAs and BPSs, and they're both endocrine disruptors. Right? The chemicals in them just fuck you up. And they can be absorbed through the skin from handling them, which means that shit goes right into your fucking bloodstream. And it also says individual thermal receipts can contain BPAs at levels of 250 to 1,000 times greater than that amount found in a can of food. And unlike ingestion, skin absorption bypasses the liver's detoxification process entirely. Again, meaning it goes straight to your fucking bloodstream. And this guy knows that, and a lot of people know that. And I have a job where I have to touch receipts all the time, and I don't think about it. But now that all this shit's coming to light, I'm gonna fucking stop. But this guy knows he doesn't touch receipts, and he was like, "Yeah, she seemed like a really chill girl, but it wasn't meant to be." Dude, just I mean, I was gonna say just tell her, "Hey, just tell me the number." Or just write the motherfucker down. Get a napkin, open it up, write it down, and then put the number, just put the number in your phone and then give her a call. He said she seemed chill, but then if he were to go, "Hey, miss, could you open this piece of paper up and just show me the number? Don't fold it up." She probably gave it to him folded up like 6 times. So she had time to walk away before he completely opened it. But then he'd sound like a lunatic. "Yeah, can you open this piece of paper? I just don't want to touch it because of the BPAs." She'd be like, "Well, yeah, I'll take it." And she just takes the paper back. But I mean, damn. Sometimes for some people, it's rough just going out there and shooting your shot. And he just knocked her fucking down because of the receipt paper. Well, that guy's probably psycho. And I mean, I get it. This shit is rough out here. Just imagine how many times your receipt prints out and you instinctually just grab it. And the paper's still warm and that shit is in your system. We are plastic people walking around the world right now. We're not even aliens because we're all fucking mannequins. Did you hear this story? It happened back in 2005 in California, and it's a sad story. This older gentleman was charging his Tesla outside of a library, and he was stabbed to death. But here's the twist. The ambulance that got there was stolen, and he died at the scene because someone stole the fucking ambulance. And now his family is suing the city for $40 million, saying failure in public safety and emergency response during the incident. Yeah, you should sue the city. They found the other guy, and they need to just take that guy out into a public square and let the family just beat the shit out of him. That's what they should be doing. Just let someone whoop on these motherfuckers' asses. Like, I don't understand. "Oh, well, just put them in jail for a couple of days and then send them out with a slap on the wrist." No, you stole a fucking emergency vehicle. And like I said, the family is suing because the ambulance did not have anti-theft locking devices that are required for rescue vehicles under state law and fire department standards to keep this kind of shit from happening. And this is why there are rules set in place to keep shit moving forward. And I get it. You can bend the rules, break the rules, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But this is why they're there. Oh, why do I got to lock it up every time? Because there's motherfuckers out there that don't care about the well-being of other human beings. It's a damn shame, It's a damn shame. All right, and this is going to be my last article. This is going to be a little shorter episode. I got shit to do. This is like the Monday episode, the prologue. I can't talk. I got to do a lot of learning and studying right now. So I got to do it right. But this article is talking about something that happened in 2023 when foreign hackers compromised an FBI New York field office server. And they were getting in there. But here's the thing. They didn't know that it was an FBI server. And they went searching around and found some shit about Jeffrey Epstein and all his case and all that shit. And they were just mind fucked at what they were reading. They were just like, what the fuck is happening? How is this real? What's going on? To the point that they were planning to report the owner of the server to the FBI, not knowing that what they were getting into was a server from the FBI. That's how crazy the shit is that nasty son of a bitch was doing. To the point that people that didn't know what was going on or who this son of a bitch was found some shit that this nasty son of a bitch was doing and was like, we need to bleach our fucking eyes and call somebody. That's how you know the shit is nasty. And anybody involved, listen. Big, small, doesn't matter. Look, they knew something was going on. I'm not going to get into that because that's not what we're here for. I don't want to get into that nasty shit. But everybody involved needs their fucking hard drives checked. They should have to give over all of their emails, their text messages, and their fucking hard drives. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because that's some nasty shit. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here because it's the middle of the week. It's the first week of learning new stuff. And I need to study. So I'm going to get out of here. Go do that. Probably get something to eat, And just study. That's all it's about right now. Learn. And I hope you're doing the same because you got to learn something. Never too old to learn something new. That's what it do. All right, let's hit that music. Don't forget Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Casually Uncomfortable, Twitter at Casually Unchuck. Let your friends know. Please, thank you. I would appreciate it. All right, now. Be safe, have fun, have a great weekend. Don't do anything too crazy, baby. And I will see you Monday for another fun day, baby. Peace. Don't be a piece of shit.